Buenas noches, profesor. Mil disculpas, es que me equivoqué de ¿cómo le explico? Me
Berlín.
equivoqué acá, sí.
Ah, ok, vale.
Y yo dije, ay, no se ha conectado nadie, y yo voy a hacer reporte. Eh, ya leyeron los parámetros, no, profesor, ¿verdad?
No, todavía no.
Ok, ya voy a dar inicio, profesor. Buenas noches, bienvenidos. En la noche de hoy, el grupo de Inglés Enseñanza A25, Gramática 2 con el docente Santos Monroy, clase recurrente, en la clase número 9 de 10. Para esto vamos a estar dando inicio leyendo los parámetros. Bienvenidos. Para el buen desarrollo de esta sesión le pedimos seguir estas recomendaciones. Algunas recomendaciones. Les solicitamos que por favor silencien sus micrófonos y puedan activarlos cuando quieran hacer consulta o aporte con el permiso del docente. Le pedimos que mantengan su cámara activa. De no poder hacerlo, enviar su excusa por el chat de Zoom. Mi rol como moderadora en la noche de hoy es apoyar la parte técnica del docente, consultas por chat personal o general. Les exhorto a tener bolígrafo y papel para hacer sus anotaciones y aprovechar al máximo esta sesión. Esta sesión tiene un tiempo de duración de 120 minutos que corresponden a 2 horas. Sean bienvenidos, me presento, mi nombre es Oris de la Su y estaré apoyando hoy la parte técnica del docente SAT. Podemos dar inicio, profesor.
Muchas gracias. Hello. Let's start class number 9. For this class, let's check model number 5, passive voice. What is the passive voice? The passive voice is used to show interest in the person or object that experience an action, rather than the person or object that performs the action. In other words, the most important thing or person becomes the subject of the sentence. It's very important to know about verb, subjects, and objects. Let's see some examples. The passive voice is used frequently. We are interested in the passive voice, not in who uses it. Example, the house was built in 1654. We are interested in the house, not in who built the house. The road, the road is being repaired. We are interested in the road, not in the people who are doing the repairs. Sometimes we use the passive voice because we don't know or do not want to express who performed the actions. Examples. I noticed that a window had been left open. Every year, thousands of people are killed in our roads. All the cookies have been eaten, and my car has been stolen. In these sentences, probably we don't know who or we are not interested in who performs the action. Okay, now the passive voice is often used in formal text. Switching to the active voice will make your writing clearer and easier to read. Let's see the differences. Passive. A great deal of meaning is conveyed by a few well-chosen words. The active, a few well-chosen words convey a great deal of meaning. Our planet is wrapped in a mass of gases. A mass of gases wrap around our planet. Waste materials are disposed of in a variety of ways. The city disposes of waste materials in a variety of ways. If we want to say who or what performs the action while using the passive voice, we use the preposition by. When we know who performed the action and are interested in him, it is always better to switch to the active voice instead. A Hard Day's Night was written by the Beatles. The Beatles wrote A Hard Day's Night. The movie It was directed by Spielberg. Spielberg directed the movie It. E.T. This house was built by my father. My father built this house. We also have the forming the passive voice. Affirmative, negative, interrogative, and negative interrogative. The house was built in 1899. In negative, the house wasn't built in 1899. Was the house built in 1899? Wasn't the house built in 1899? Let's see this example. In plural, these houses were built in 1899. These houses weren't built in 1899. Were these houses built in 1899? And negative interrogative, weren't these houses built in 1899? Now, let's see. We're gonna look for a simple present and present continuous example. The simple present. The house is cleaned every day. The present continues. The house is being cleaned at the moment. Now let's practice write sentences in active and passive using the present tense. Now we have the simple past. The house was cleaned yesterday. Past continuous. The house was being cleaned last week. Present perfect. The house has been cleaned since you left. Now let's practice write sentences in active and passive using the past tense. Okay, after that, let's continue with some sentences in active and passive voice using the past tense. I will show now the past perfect. The house had been cleaned before they arrived. For the future, we have the house will be cleaned next week. And for the future continuous, the house will be being cleaned tomorrow. We can also have the present conditional. Let's see what happened here. The house will be cleaned if they had visitors. In the past conditional, the house would have been cleaned if it had been dirty. An infinitive, the house must be cleaned before we arrive. Now, passive voice with infinitive. The infinitive passive voice is used after modal verbs and other most verbs normally followed by an infinitive. Example, you have to be tasted on your English grammar. John might be promoted next year. She wants to be invited to the party. I expected to be surprised on my birthday, and you may be disappointed. These are just some uses after modal verbs and other most verbs that are always followed by infinitive. Now, passive voice with gerunds. Gerunds are used after prepositions and verbs normally followed by gerund. I will give you some examples. I remember being taught to drive. The children are excited about being taken to the zoo. The children are excited to be taken to the zoo. Most films stars hate being interviewed. Most film stars hate to be interviewed. Puddles like to be pampered, and puddles like being pampered. These are just an example about gerunds and infinitive together. So now let's practice. We're going to change this activity, this active sentence to passive. The government is planning a new road near my house. We're going to change this one into passive voice. Okay, for this example, I can say the government is planning a new road near my house. A new road near my house is being planned by the government. My grandfather built this house in 1943. In 1943, this house was built by my grandfather. Picasso was painting Guernica at that time. At that time, Guernica was being painted by Picasso. The cleaner has cleaned the office. The office is clean, had been cleaned by the cleaner. He had written 3 books before 1877. Three, three books had, have, had been written by him. John will tell you later. You will be told later. By this time tomorrow, we will have signed the idea. The ideal will have been signed by this time. Somebody should do the work. The work should be done by somebody. The traffic might have delayed Jimmy. Jimmy might be delayed by the traffic. People speak Portuguese in Brazil. Portuguese is spoken in Brazil. And this is all for this session. Once again, remember to upload everything on the platform and check out the assignments.
Ok, profesor. Gracias por la clase impartida de la noche de hoy. Nos vemos.